Hello. As I was saying before, I was cut short on that last video input. Is that doesn't it just drive you mad that the fact that the arguments that you use against somebody's against a religion, such as arguments I use against Christianity, to use their own holy book, their holy handbook, the Bible, and point out the inconsistencies in it and point out the historical inaccuracies in it, is that when talking to an Islamic, they can see your exact point and they will concede every point you make, except when you use those self-same arguments of historical inaccuracies and scientific inaccuracies against their holy handbook, because obviously only their particular holy handbook is perfectly correct, which is what I was having problems with this Islamic Fundie Fucktard. He was, as I say towards the end, if he'd been in the room, I would have grabbed him by the throat and given him a good fucking slap. He was really annoying me that much. He kept quoting the Quran at me, and as I say, I think the reason why in the end that he blocked me was because he says, "Oh, you can't disprove anything I say because you've never read the Quran." When I pointed out to him that not only did I have a Quran, I had a Saudi approved copy of the Quran, which is the version of Islam that he believes. So he was a Sharia, believed in Sharia law the way that the Saudis do, rather than being a Sunni or a Shiite or a blah or a thingy or a what's it, because obviously only his particular branch of the Islamic faith is the one true Islamic faith, and all the rest are just heathens. And he hated that. At least I think it was the fact I had a copy of the Quran. It may have been the fact that I said Muhammad was nothing but a 6th century desert warlord who was a child molester and a goat shacker. That may have had something to do with the fact he blocked me, but he kept insisting that I wasn't an atheist. That the same way some Christians do. Is you do actually believe in God, you just deny his existence because you hate him, or the Christian one is you deny the existence of God because you want to sin, because you don't want to take responsibility, and it's all a lot of bullshit. I did point out to him is that I don't need to prove, or rather I don't need to disprove that fairies don't live at my bottom of the garden not to believe in them. But I don't think he quite understood that, because I was applying it to his brand of faith. I did try putting 4 questions to him, and I can't remember if I actually mentioned them, the 4 questions. Excuse me while I just do this. Just click that. 4 questions, which after actually I put them to him, I realised I could have put them equally to any faith at all. But the questions I did put to him were, one, what was that? Could he present any scientific evidence that the universe that we live in was caused by any supernatural entity, or had any supernatural origins? 2, could he present an argument for the existence of the God that he believed in that could not be used to argue for the existence of any other god or gods? And 3, could he disprove the existence of a small blue teapot halfway between Earth and Mars that orbits the Sun? Yes, the good old blue teapot. I love that one. And 4, why should I believe in his chosen brand of faith any more than he believes in any other deist's chosen brand of faith? In other words, what makes his the one true faith? When put to those questions, he actually came back, because this was the PM before I insulted his holy prophet, or rather his holy paedophilic goat fucking prophet. And he says the arguments he was giving were just arguments that it's in the Quran. It's the Quran is the one true word of God, the mystical number 19. The scientific accuracies of the Quran. And when also I've been pointing out to him before, is they're not scientific accuracies. The Quran is so scientifically accurate, it describes the sky as a glass canopy and all the stars are just little lamps hanging from it. You stupid fucking twat. It makes you want to scream sometime. But I will leave it at that, because I'll keep this one short. This is the second time I've tried to upload my part 2, and YT has I've kind of lost my interest in where I was going. But if any of you bollock brain religious morons, whatever faith you be, whether you be Jewish or Christian or Muslim or Hindu, and you think that you have a new and original argument that would convince me of the existence of the god or gods that you think exist, please feel free to either put them in the comment channel below or PM me. You know, I don't block people just for sending me PMs, but what I would say is, don't quote your religious handbooks at me. Don't send me other people's videos for me to watch. Use your own intelligence, if you have any left, after having it drained out by years and years and years of religious belief. You know, and well, just don't quote religious verses at me unless you wish to be totally fucking destroyed. Alright? So, I will wrap it up at that point, and I will just say to you that if anything in this video has offended you, let me know what it is. I may want to offend you again later. Okay, bye bye.